Welcome. It's great, always great to talk to Oregon State University students and especially students in the BIS program there. There's some great professors that the SIM Club, we've worked with and partnered with the university for many years on our scholarship program. So congratulations to those of you that are scholarship winners. Thank you all for coming and joining us and having this conversation about why you're where you're at. And the first question as we go through, I'd like you to introduce yourself and just tell us, what program. I assume you're all in the BIS program, but if you have, a minor or another concentration that you want to share, if you could share that too. So tell us what, Gage, why don't you start us out as we are talking about information management. It's always curious to hear about the different paths that people take to get to where they're getting in school and also in their careers. So tell us a little bit about how you first heard about your major and what motivated you to pursue the course.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, my name is Gage Cook. I'm double majoring in business information systems and marketing. And I first heard about, I guess, the BIS major at Oregon State. I think it was like my freshman year because I was pre-business, but I was thinking about either like CS, like studying CS, or I honestly thought about becoming a history teacher, but I looked at like the coursework and like the career paths for both of those fields, and I wasn't like super interested in either of those. But then I got into the pre-business program, and then I found out about BIS, and I originally did my, I guess, senior project or internship in high school within the IT department at a hospital, and I really enjoyed that. Like healthcare IT is like kind of a field I eventually want to go into, like way down the road, I guess.
Very hot right now too.
Yeah, definitely. And then I heard about BIS, and I don't know, personally, I'm like pretty extrovert. I really like working with like people. So I can't, not that like you can't do that with CS, but like I wasn't into like the theoretical and like coding side of it. I want to like interact with other people and tech at the same time. So when I heard about like this major and how it kind of like, I guess, bridges the gap between those two things, I like was immediately like interested in that. So I guess that's just a little bit about my journey towards it.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. And did you say marketing? You have a double major. You have a major in marketing.
Yeah. I chose that because I kind of guess like the psychology side of business, sort of like learning about like what drives people to buy certain things and like how you can interact better with, I guess, customers. But yeah, that's essentially that reason. I'm honestly, I declared like BIS first because I was more interested in that, and the marketing was kind of like an afterthought. It's like, oh, I can apply these skills to that rather than the other way around. So
exactly. That's great. Simon, what about you?
So it's funny that you say that. I actually started as a computer science major as well. In my case, I'm actually doing a double major with BIS and computer science because I really like the whole coding part of things, but I had the same sort of thought as well with like, it doesn't really seem like CS is always very interactive with people. I don't know if I'm so much of an extrovert, but I definitely do like talking with people. I think it's a really interesting part of any sort of job or anything you work on. So yeah, I heard about MIS, like we call it BIS at OSU, but I heard about it as MIS from my stepdad, and he was like, this is something you may want to take a look at. And so I started taking some of the classes, and so far I've really enjoyed them because they have all those same sort of details that you learn in computer science, but they give other perspectives and other ways of approaching it that are more people focused as well.
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting. Dominic?
Yeah, so
I'm sorry. Dominic, can you hold up a second? And then Simon, is Simon Wesley Millsap? Do you go by Simon?
Just Simon Millsap. Wesley's my middle name, but it pops up here.
Great. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, Dominic.
Oh, you're good. So my name is Dominic. This year I'm a junior at Oregon State University, and I'm majoring in business information systems. with a double minor in mathematics and computer science. So yeah, I would definitely agree with Simon that I do like the technical side of computer science and stuff like that. Definitely data science, machine learning type things. But I also really like its intersection with business, which is kind of what drove me to do all three of those things. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a nice kind of blend, especially with the Oregon State curriculum. You kind of get a good technical introduction in the IS program itself, and then the computer science minor complements that really well for me.
Yeah, and you said you were originally from California. What brought you up to OSU?
I guess it was a West Coast school that I both visited and liked the area. I grew up partly in Oregon over the summers, so I always liked being up here. And you know, the factor that it was within driving distance to home probably helped my mom adjust the idea of me leaving the house. So yeah.
Good, good. And you said computer science, math, and the BIS program,
Yeah.
right? Right.
Yeah.
You're busy. Christina?
Hi, my name is Christina Nguyen. I am a senior majoring in business information systems. What's actually funny is I started out as a computer science major as well. And
You switched over?
I figured out that was not what I wanted to pursue for my career. And so I transferred to OSU. So originally for my first year, I went to Portland State University. And OSU offered BIS. I've heard BIS before from my family because I do have family who work in that field. So I did some research. Growing up, I've always loved technology as well. And so I felt like BIS was a great like blend of business and technology. So that's what drew me into the major.
Yeah, great. Nice. Very different paths, some similarities there, but it's interesting to hear, the diversity. I want to talk a little bit about careers next, because and just in looking at your LinkedIn pages, you all might be going slightly different directions with your degree and into the next steps of your career. But all of you look like you have some pretty decent experience. You have a good foundation. And Christina, let's start out with you. What type of careers most interest you? And what do you have a job yet? Is there specific jobs that you're looking at?
Yeah, so at the moment, I am waiting to get onto my second internship. It's with BIAM Systems through the MECOP program. So I've had the opportunity to do that, which I'm super grateful for. Is
that up in Beaverton? BIAM?
Yes, in Beaverton, yeah, in Tiger.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I previously interned at Oregon State Treasury, so for the state of Oregon. That was also from the MECOP program, so that was really nice to get that hands-on experience, even though like due to COVID and everything, I was still able to learn and get that hands-on experience. And from that, I think I personally learned that I really liked working with data, and I think that's something I want to look into if I were to look for future careers. But I do want to wait and hold off till I get my second internship experience and see what I like from there.
Yeah. When you have the intern, do they tell you what it's going to be? Like it's a systems analyst type of role or it's a programmer type of role? Did they kind of share that with you?
It was pretty general. So my the name under what I was doing was just information technology intern. So it was pretty broad. They allowed me to do like take on projects that I was interested in, which I thought was really nice because I was pretty new to IT, I would say, because I haven't had any other IT experience prior.
Yeah, interesting. And that was at Oregon Treasury. And did you also intern at Nike?
Oh, that one, it was only a summer job. It was like just dealing with manufacturing. I did add that on just because it is you still learn a lot from any type of job, I would say. It's very
Absolutely.
fast paced and everything. So I definitely think those are skills that I can showcase to other companies.
Yeah. So when you say careers in data or leaning towards data, like data analytics or yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say so.
yeah, interesting. Good, good. Gage, same question. Careers, what type of careers are you looking?
Oh gosh, I've like bounced back and forth because like at first I was like, oh, like marketing analytics like sound kind of interesting. That's why like I started studying marketing. But then like with my prior experience, like interning at like a hospital in the IT like department, like that felt like, I guess out of all my experience, that felt like the most direct way to like help other people, you know, because it's like like when I was like in that like whole situation, like my mentors, like people would constantly tell them like this place would like fall apart without them. Like they really like the patients and the doctors and like all of them. It's like a stressful job, it sounds like, but they like all rely on the IT people to keep like the medical records safe, like make sure no hackers like get in. So I'm still like debating it a little bit right now. I like currently run my own like small business out of Burns right now. It's like a small IT contracting business. It's just like for small organizations. There's not like a lot of those IT businesses over there. So it's like a really good summer job, and the rest of the year I'm able to work remotely. After my MBA program, I don't know where I'll be at because right now it's like I can live like comfortably with that job and everything, but I eventually kind of like want to move to the city because I don't know if anyone's ever been to Burns, but it's like a really small like rural town kind of. So it's like it'd be really nice to like get over to Bend or like Portland eventually and maybe move on to like something else other than this business, I guess. So like definitely like data analytics is like one I'm really keeping my eye on right now. But yeah.
Nice. And did you intern at the school district, did I say?
No, I didn't intern at the school district. That's I need to like reshuffle my LinkedIn around a little bit, but I'm contracted to work on their like computer needs because it's like a charter school back
Mhm.
home, so they do like distance learning, and especially like during the pandemic, like their enrollment like increased a lot. So especially last summer, I was like super busy. Like I took a term off school last spring when the pandemic hit to like get everything with like the business up and running. Then
Yeah,
got
get
that
them
contract.
connected,
Yeah,
remote connectivity and everything.
yeah, like all that stuff is like such a unique situation to be in, but it's
Yeah.
definitely learning experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's great that you could do that. I'm sure
Yeah,
that helped them out tremendously. And everybody had to react so quickly when everything shut down. So
definitely.
um, yeah, what a great opportunity to help the community. Dominic.
Yeah, so I mentioned a little bit before that I like data science, machine learning type things, but I think data analytics is also pretty tied into all of that. Um, so I don't really have a dream industry, I would say, to be involved in because one of the things I really like about that career is that you can really kind of go to a lot of different places, especially with the way technology is kind of becoming intertwined with everything. Like everybody in the future will have some sort of role in any industry, I think. So I do like that option that I kind of get to, if I want to, maybe move around industries, get some different experiences with some different places, different people. So I say that's definitely something that I'm interested in.
Nice. And any internships yet for you, or is that next?
Yeah, not yet, because I'm in the end of my junior year. So I applied to some. So hopefully we hear back and get one over the summer. But I mean, if not, I'm always looking at other courses or things I can do to help still expand that kind of knowledge and the development there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There's all different ways you can apply what you're
Yeah.
learning to get experience, even in jobs, part-time jobs and things like that. So yeah. Um, nice. Simon, jobs, what
Yeah.
career what are you interested in?
So yeah, I similar to most everyone, I'm kind of, figuring it out still. But I've so far one thing that I've considered is possibly going into academia because I like learning and kind of teaching people things. But also I like the idea of working in industry too. Right now I'm doing a MECOP internship at Mentor Graphics, which is down in Wilsonville. Um, and this is my first internship, so this is like my first, real professional job experience, which has been really cool. It's been really cool to be able to apply what I've learned in class to the work environment. I like, you kind of hear about that, and I didn't really think that was going to be a thing. I figured, I'll probably just have to learn everything there, but they'll say things in the job, and they'll be like, "Are you familiar with that?" I'm like, "Oh, actually I am. Yeah, that's crazy." So yeah, that's kind of made me a lot more open and interested in the idea of going into some sort of industry as well. But yeah, I'll certainly have to wait until after my second internship to have a better idea of what I want to do too.
Yeah, that's great. It's very interesting, the kind of the data aspect, the data
Mhm.
analytics, everything is based on data now. So it's interesting, that common thread between all of you. I'd like each of you just to kind of chime in. I didn't hear any of you say, oh, I want to be a CIO or a engineering manager or software development manager. Any interest in leadership roles down the road?
I would definitely say yeah. I think
Good.
I understand that I really want to gain an experience for how the industry works, and what the role starting from the bottom going up is, and kind of maybe work my way up to that point. My dad's a manager, so I very much have kind of heard about the different problems and things that he's focused on his job. So, kind of learning that wherever I am, and then learning how I can become a problem solver for that is definitely something that I would like to learn how to do.
Yeah, that's great. Anybody else? No?
Yeah, like also in the future, I would, oh, sorry, Gage. But yeah, I would love to be able to be like a manager or something, because I had an amazing manager for my first internship, and I hope one day I could be able to like be that person for someone. But for right now, like Dominic, I do want to gain industry experience before I get into or get to apply for those kinds of roles.
Yeah, yeah, good, good.
Yeah, just to, I guess, touch on that a little bit. I'm kind of in the same boat as everyone else. I definitely want to get like a little bit more experience beforehand. But like right now, like I'm like technically like the founder of like my small business, but like that's a
Oh,
lot
you're the
different.
manager, you're the boss.
Yeah, but that's a lot different when there's only like two or three of us total working on stuff compared to like, CIO of like a major like business, or even like a business unit. So it's like definitely would like to get some more experience first, like everyone else.
Yeah,
And I like, in my own school experience, I've done various leadership type positions, and it's something I really enjoy. I like that kind of helping aspect and like trying to guide people and be there for them, sort of thing. So yeah, that's definitely, I think, something that we all probably can relate to in some way or another.
yeah, yeah. And it's important because you can be a leader without being a manager too. And that's
Mhm.
not a bad place to be in either. So um nice. We all came up through high school. So if you had to look back and talk to students that were in ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade right now, how would you advise them about college and the things to consider? And would you share anything about your program or encourage them to pursue that?
I guess I can start again. So I actually get this ability. I get to do this pretty constantly because I tutor high school students. So I guess very directly, I do get to talk to a lot of high school students about A, going to college, and B, finding a career or a major that interests them. So I mean, I guess for me, what really started it was I did AP computer science when I was in high school. So I know there's a lot of students that I talk to. If they have an interest in that class, they do well in that class, they like the class, something like that. And especially with IS and it being a business degree, if they also like the idea of learning how technology and business works together, it's definitely something that I've talked to students about, at least the ones that I get to talk to. and recommend that, maybe they should look at programs like this and definitely consider looking at other schools or even Oregon State for that type of program.
Yeah. Do you think, Dominic, that kind of thinking about diversity, that you would give different advice to a female versus a male student?
I think to some extent, maybe a little bit differing, but a lot of it is whether I think they like that career opportunity, or whether they really like, working with data or doing computer science or working with business stuff. So I think I focus more heavily on, what are their interests, what do they like to do, and if you work hard enough, the doors will open. You'll fall into some miracle traps every now and then, and things will work out in your favor if you work hard and do the right thing all the time. But it's definitely something that I would say is more, I focus more on what their interests are, and try to help advise them that way.
Yeah, that's great. Gage.
I guess to touch on that, in regards to like, I guess the major specifically, because I don't know what I would like say like in general, like college advice, because like there's so many different degrees and like so many different places to go. But I guess for like the degree specifically, like I feel like a lot of people think that like we're in the information era, like everybody knows how to use a computer, and I'm sure everyone else can attest with their internship or job experience that like that is so further from the truth. Like people still don't know how to like run printers properly from like the 90s and stuff. There's always going to be like a huge need for like IS and CS and like those types of like related degrees. So I guess if like they were scared about like job prospects specifically, I would like, I guess like soothe their fears with that. Like you're always going to need like IT, IS, analytics type people.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even during the pandemic, those there's a lot of demand for those technology professionals, when other industries, there was no demand for. So it was very interesting how that worked. Yeah.
Yeah, like going off of Gage, I would definitely say technology is always growing too. So I think if you are interested in that aspect, I would recommend like trying out classes like Dominic said. And if you don't end up liking it, that's okay, because there are plenty of other options to choose from. And then if you do like hit college, I think it's very okay that you change your major. It's pretty normal. It's can be scary, but I personally went through it and I'm very happy with the decision I made.
Yeah. Christina, would you give different advice to a female student versus a male student?
Honestly, I would give pretty much similar advice, because no matter who they are, I feel like they can do it regardless, as long as they pursue their interests and pursue their interests.
Yeah.
That way they can get their career of the dreams.
Yeah. Interesting. Simon, what do you think?
Yeah. So for anyone who's in high school or trying to figure out what they're doing, or anyone going into college, I would just say, like, if you don't know what to do, just do things that give you a wide variety of experiences to help you narrow it down. For instance, a major that touches upon a bunch of different subjects, I think is a great option. And like BIS, for instance, I mean, I have met plenty of people in the BIS major who have all sorts of different strengths and weaknesses in the subject. Some people are better at the coding side of things. Some people are better at like the, understanding people side of things. And depending on, and it doesn't really matter if you're stronger in one or another, because the whole point of that major is to give you that understanding of all those different parts. So yeah, pick something that makes you try a bunch of different things and learn about a bunch of different things to help you figure out what you want to do.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the STEM outreach program. And so hopefully in 2022, I think, or all of you graduating but Dominic, right? Is everybody graduating this year?
I'm a junior right now, so I have one more year.
So Sim STEM Outreach Program, we partner a college student, typically a scholar, well, not always a scholarship winner, but somebody from the BIS club, and with a professional out in the community. And we go into middle school and high schools and just share our story about why we selected the programs we did, similar to this tonight. So certainly I hope that you will join us next year. Keep an eye out for that program. Dominic, you as well. You're a junior, right?
Yeah, I am a junior. So, I mean, if I could be involved in that, that'd be great. I mean, like I said, I already work with a lot of students. So, you know, communicating with more is never a bad thing.
Yeah, definitely. So I'd like to wrap it up with one final question about the SIM scholarship you received. Just talk about and Simon, I don't know if everybody's received. Did you receive a scholarship as well? I think Dr. Retzma indicated that.
Yeah. I think he's talked to both me and Dominic about that.
Good.
I believe, yeah.
Good. So as a scholarship recipient from SIM, kind of talk a little bit about what that means to you and how you've benefited from that.
Well, I would definitely say that for me, the scholarship is definitely motivational, mainly due to the fact that I feel like someone's recognizing the dedication and all the effort that I put into my degree and my education, especially in this career. So getting the scholarship, I definitely think is a good recognition from somebody else of all that work that I've put in. I definitely appreciate that recognition a lot. And I know our teachers are really good, and they're really good about showing how grateful they are with how dedicated we are to our studies. But to have somebody from outside that bubble also share that appreciation for our work is definitely something I'm grateful for.
Yeah, that's excellent.
I can
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, so as with any scholarship, it's always nice to be able to like fund your academic career, which is great. Be able to take the classes that you want to take. But also just like with regards to SIM specifically, when you go into a major, you don't always know if like that's what you're good at or what you should be doing, and receiving a scholarship for that is always validating and a nice kind of acknowledgement that you're doing a good thing, like for yourself, obviously.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's great. Gage, you were going to say?
I was just gonna say, I guess it's kind of nice to know that like once you leave school, there's like kind of at least some sort of like support system of like professionals, because I feel like it's pretty intimidating, especially like now, like like during the pandemic and like post pandemic, when like the job market is like less sure and stuff like that, and like nobody really knows like what the future is going to hold. It's kind of nice to have, I guess, at least some sort of safety net to like fall back on, and like people that like will be like, oh, like you got that scholarship from SIM and like stuff like that. So just like the community that it like could provide in the future,
Yeah, definitely. The community, the partnership.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like personally, this scholarship has meant like a lot to me because as it has allowed me to pursue not only my education but like my passion, and not only that, but it has opened like doors to opportunities that I am truly grateful for today.
That's great. Well, congratulations to you all, and thank you for visiting with us. And I wish you the best of luck. Go out there. You are already all doing great things. So continue on your journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. You guys have a good evening. All right.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you very much. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.